Hello, everyone. This is Ryan and Derek from Badgerland Birding, and today we are here to talk about one of the events that we are having in March for Migration Madness, which is the March Migration Madness Birding Challenge.
Yeah, I'm really excited about this one. And it was kind of difficult to go through and find species that were kind of everywhere. So we have it set up for a challenge for the US and then one for Europe. And then we have something if you're not in those areas too. So we did our best to make it where it wasn't species that were too difficult to find or too easy. So we can modify as we go, but this is what we came up with for the first one.
Yeah, and we had a lot of fun doing the challenge that we did earlier in the winter, and we thought that it would be nice to have everyone get the opportunity to do something like that as well. So we think that this is going to be a lot of fun, and let's take a look at those rules.
Yeah, thanks so much everybody for participating right off the bat. So these are kind of the rules we laid out. You have from March 1st at 12 a.m. until March 31st at midnight to find the three species of bird that we're challenging you to find. You can hear them or see them. We're kind of going off the honor system like a lot of birding is. And you can travel wherever you want to see them. So if there are not a lot of them in your state, you can go somewhere else if you want to. Always be safe, of course. Don't get yourself into dangerous situations. We want you guys to be, responsible as you're going out and birding. You also need to see them in person. So no like caged species or species seen like at the zoo or on TV. You have to actually go out and see these species in the wild. So if you get all three of them, comment on this video with the species you saw. So list them, the date you saw it, and the location you saw it at before March 31st at midnight. If you do that, you'll be entered into a drawing to win prizes at the end of Migration Madness. And you must be subscribed to the channel to win. So make sure that if you're not subscribed already, that you do that. Also, please share around with your friends. We'd love more people to do these challenges. And we hope you guys have fun with it. And I feel like there's one other thing that I'm missing.
Just feel free, if you're a fellow bird YouTuber, to also make your own video about your searches if you want. It'll be interesting to see where everyone finds these birds. So if you have a channel and you want something to kind of do the next month, this could be a good way to do it. We'd always love to see everybody else's journey to find these birds as well.
Yeah, and also if you went out and tried to do it and you didn't find all three species, let us know in the comments too if like something was difficult or you found another interesting species. And if you want to, like Ryan said, if you want to make your own video saying, hey, like Badgerland Birding Challenge, just do this for Migration Madness and we're going to film it and do kind of a vlog thing, we'd love to see your take on it too.
Yeah, and
All
I
right, so
know
let's
how difficult finding three birds can sometimes be depending on where they are.
indeed, it sure can. All right, let's get into these species. So for the United States of America, species number one, this is kind of the eBird range map. This is from March 2021. So this is where this species was. You can see it's found throughout America. It can be recognized by call. And if you're kind of starting out birding, this might be one of the calls that you are more familiar with kind of the first year. It's a species of sparrow, and the color pattern can be different depending on what region it's in. So a little bit of variation, but you should be able to tell what it is. So bird number one for Migration Madness in March is the song sparrow.
Some song sparrows stick around all year, even in the northern United States, but they really come in thick in springtime, and usually March is when you start to see them more. And then usually the first couple times I see them, I'm very excited about it. And then by the time it's like June, I'm just like, oh man, they're everywhere.
They kind of just come in and like take over in Wisconsin for sure.
Yeah,
Like,
I would say during one of, they're probably the most numerous sparrow species when it comes to the summertime, other than like the house sparrow.
yeah. All right. Species number one, the song sparrow. So species number two can actually be found in the United States and Europe. It's a species of duck. The males are white, orange, and green, so pretty striking. So you would think if you saw a male, you would know it pretty well. So species number two for the United States is the northern shoveler.
That's a good bird that comes in. Of course, March is a big month for duck migration. We also have our America's Favorite Duck contest going on right now, so that's something to keep an eye on too. But very exciting to start to see the ducks coming up north, and the northern shoveler is an interesting one with that very unique flat bill.
Definitely. And with America's Favorite Duck, voting is going to take place in March in the community tab. So make sure you guys check that out as well. Species number three. So this one's a little bit tricky. It's a type of bird that's known for their song, and there's eastern and western varieties of this one. So we decided, since it's kind of a mix, you can find either the Eastern or Western variety, and it's also a symbol of the plains. And I know Ryan really wanted to include this one in the challenge, just because it's more of like a specialized habitat bird. If I see them flying, I always think they kind of resemble like little chickens. It's a very goofy looking flight. But bird number 3 is the meadowlark, so the Eastern or Western meadowlark.
Yep, and some areas do have some crossover. So some of the westerns find themselves in more of the Midwest or Eastern U.S. Some of the Easterns kind of end up in the western part of the country. But a really cool bird, a bird that a lot of people I think remember if they lived by an open plain or countryside, with the beautiful melodic song of both of these species really being something that sticks in your mind.
Yeah, our dad actually, like the meadowlark call, distinctly remembers it from his childhood hearing it. So it's pretty unique bird.
Yeah, really bright too.
Indeed. All right, now let's move on to Europe. This was a little bit different. Ryan and I, neither of us have ever been to Europe, so we did our best with these. Species number 1, it's one of the most abundant birds in Britain and Ireland. It feeds on invertebrates and seeds, and it's in the finch family. So number 1, we have the common chaffinch.
Which to me looks like a Europe goldfinch, basically. I know there's
You
something
mean
called
a
the European
European
goldfinch.
goldfinch?
Not quite. It looks more like just the Europe version of our American goldfinch, because it has kind of that same wing pattern with the dark wings with a little bit of light colored on it, and it's kind of a copper color instead of a gold color. So
I think it's a very attractive looking species. Like
I
it
won't
seems like
disagree.
a good one if you woke up and saw one of these every day. I would be excited about it. Species number 2. So the bill on this bird is about 2.5 inches long. They're monogamous, and the oldest individual was over 16 years old. And if this range map looks a little bit familiar, it's also one of the species that's in the US challenge. So for Europe, we also have the northern shoveler.
I thought it was funny in that range map too. It looked like there were some dots in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean.
It does kind of look that way. You may have to investigate that further. But yeah, the northern shoveler, it's very widespread. So it's kind of cool that we can have that in the United States and Europe challenge.
It's nice to know that people from separate continents will all be looking for the northern shoveler.
Yes, it is. Species number 3, it's a type of warbler. It has a very beautiful call. And they first breed when they're around 1 year old. So this species number 3 for the Europe challenge for March is the Eurasian Blackcap.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how the people in Europe do finding these species. Um, and neither of us have ever been to Europe, so learning about some of these birds will be very interesting.
Yeah, this one in particular, I thought it was interesting to add a warbler to the mix and kind of see how people handle that. So,
And it does look like they live in Europe year round, so they're not strictly migratory, but they do migrate from Africa, it appears.
so that'll be an interesting one. Again, just recapping the rules, you have from March 31st at 12 a.m. until March 31st at midnight to find all 3 species. You can hear or see them, and it's on the honor system. You can go wherever you want. Be safe. Needs to be seen in person, so you need to be seeing the wild bird, no cage species, no birds seen in zoos or on TV.
Or
Then
on
comment
Google
on
Earth.
this video. Yeah, no Google Earth birding. Comment on this video with the species you saw, the date and location before March 31st at midnight, and then you'll be entered into a drawing at the end of Migration Madness to win prizes. You must be subscribed to win. And then, of course, feel free to make your own video saying that you're doing the challenge and you're looking for some species. In summary, for the United States, we have the song sparrow, the eastern or western meadowlark, and the northern shoveler. And then for Europe, we have the common chaffinch, the northern shoveler, and the Eurasian blackcap. So if you're not in Europe or the United States, or you're just in a particular area where like none of these species occur, let us know in the comments and we'll just pick 3 species for you to go out and find.
Yeah, and if you're in Canada, hopefully the US species will also be up in Canada as well. But if you're in a very northern spot that doesn't have them, that would be one of the locations that if you reach out, we'll find some birds that we want you to go find.
Indeed. And if you guys have any questions, you can always contact us at badgerlandbirding@gmail.com.
Thanks everyone for watching. We'll see you next time on Badgerland Birding.
Yeah, thanks so much, everybody, for participating. We're really excited to see how this does, and make sure to share with your friends if you think they'd be interested in doing the challenge as well.